Hello students, good morning. Good morning everyone. How are you all? Are you all keeping fine? Good. I hope you all are keeping fine. So students, today actually because of the lockdown I couldn't go to school where actually I make the videos with the board. Okay, with the green board I make the videos, but today I couldn't go. So for the next class I will be arranging a board, or uh, if I can go there to make video, it will be good. Okay, so I will try in the next video. So today students, I will explain the chapter with the help of book only. You have the book, and you take out your book at page number 19. In previous class we had completed the exercise of chapter 4, water a wonderful liquid. Okay, so chapter 5 is plants and animals in water. You will see at page number 19, that is plants and animals in water. Okay, so we will discussing about this chapter. Today as we will discuss about chapter 5, that is plants and animals in water. That means we will talk about the aquatic life system around us. Aquatic life system around us. Around us means around us. Aquatic life means the life which live in the water, that is aquatic life system around us. But before that, in a book some important things are given. Before the aquatic life, some important things are given, that is the concept of habitat. We will know about concept of habitat. Now if we discuss what exactly habitat is, okay, so habitat is the place where a particular type of animal or plants is usually found. What is habitat? Habitat is the place where a particular type of animal or plant is usually found. That is habitat, isn't it? Or if a particular organism lives, if or you can say a particular organism lives in land, that habitat of that organism is land. If a particular organism that lives in land, so that is what, that particular organism that lives in land, that is the habitat of that organism, okay. So and a particular organism that lives in water, the habitat of that organism is water. Okay, so on basis of these organism, they are categorized. The lives of animals or lives of plants, they are categorized according to our book. We will discuss about four types of category. Okay, four types of category we will discuss, which are different habitat or which is used by different organism around us. The first we will see here is the terrestrial organism. That is terrestrial organism. So terrestrial organism is the organism that lives in land. We can take the many examples like animals. In the animals we will see, that is elephant, camel, horse, lion, tiger, bear. Even the human beings, Okay, even the human beings, they are terrestrial organism. Terrestrial organism, they live in land. They live in land. Okay, then we'll move to the second. We'll move to the second, that is about aquatic organism. That is about aquatic organism or aquatic life cycle, or we can say aquatic habitat, and the organism which actually lives in water. The organism which actually lives in water, they are aquatic organism. They are aquatic organism. We can take the example of the which live in water. They are like fish, tortoise, then whales, and many more examples we can take. The examples are given in your book also, like hyacinth, fishes and prawns live in water. They are called the aquatic organism. They are called the aquatic organism. Okay. Then we will move to the third. We will move to the third, and that is arboreal organism. Arboreal organism. What is arboreal organism? You see, arboreal organism use plants body parts of specifically. They live in the trees. They use the tree branches of trees. They use the branches of trees. They most of the time they are in the branches of tree. So their habitat is habitat, so they are considered as arboreal organism. They use branches of the tree as their living habitat, so they are considered as arboreal organism. For examples we can take like monkeys, squirrels. You might have seen the monkeys. They live most of the time, they spend their time, maximum time, on the tree or on the branches of tree. They used to hang around. They used to eat the fruits if they find in the tree. And same way the squirrel also. Squirrel, they also live in the branches or on the tree. When sometimes they come down to the trees, but again they move on the tree, go back to the tree. So they are the arboreal organism. They are the arboreal organism. Okay. Then the fourth category or the fourth type we'll see, that is aerial organism. Aerial organism. Aerial organism. Aerial organism which aerial organisms which the animals which spend most of the time in the air, which spend most of the time in the air. Now you may be thinking about many birds, isn't it? You may be thinking about many birds, because birds, they fly on the air, in the air, in the sky, in the air they fly. So you might be thinking about the birds. But apart from birds, let's not forget about some insects. Insects, you know, some insects also they do fly. They do fly, like butterfly, bees, and the dragon, isn't it? So they fly. So they are the examples of aerial organism. And you might be thinking about the bats. Do you have you seen the bats? They also fly. They they are another group of organism, but we assume or we think because bats can fly, it must be the bird, but it is not the true. It is not like that. They come under the category of mammals. They come under the category of mammals. But they do fly, and they spend their maximum time in the air only. They are considered as aerial organism. We can quote the examples. Yes, what are the examples we can quote? We can quote the example as I earlier told you, birds, butterfly, and some insects. They fly. Okay, so these are the 4 types of organisms. They live in different habitat. They live in different habitat. The organism which lives in land, they are called the terrestrial organism, and the organism which live in water, they are called aquatic organisms, and the organism which live in branch of the tree or on the tree, they are arboreal organism, and at the last but not the least, the aerial organism, the organism which do fly, which spend their maximum time in the air. In the air, they are aerial organism. Okay, till here you have understood the habitat. Okay, very good. We will move to the next. Now students, we will discuss about the aquatic plants. We will discuss about the aquatic plants. So aquatic plants, plants that live in water are called aquatic plants. Okay, plants that live in water are called aquatic plants. There are 3 main types of aquatic plants. How many types of aquatic plants are there? 3 main types of aquatic plants are there. So the first type we will see, that is free floating aquatic plants. Free floating aquatic plants. Okay, they are free floating aquatic. First type is free floating aquatic plants. So some aquatic plants like Holfia, Fuchsia, and water hyacinth are found floating in ponds and lakes. These plants have spongy stem with a large number of air spaces. This kind of stem helps the plants to float on the surface of water. These plants remain in contact with water and air, but are not attached to the soil. In the picture you can see, here in the picture, this is a water hyacinth. Then next is the pista. In the next picture you will see, at the surface of the water there, they are floating. They don't have the stem to the ground. They do not go to the ground, the stem, just they float and they live in the water. Okay, so these are the free floating aquatic plants. Then second is rooted aquatic plants with floating leaves. Rooted aquatic plants with floating leaves. Rooted means their root is on the ground, into the water, under the surface. You will see their root is there. They are rooted there. If you will go to the lake, if you will go to the river, when you enter into the river, when it is not deep, what you will see, you will touch the surface with your legs. So they are land. And these plants, which rooted aquatic plants, their stem goes down to the ground level, or the ground to the land level, and they root themselves there. So the root of aquatic plants like water lily and lotus are fixed to the soil, but their leaves float on the on the water. Only their leaves, they float on the water, but their roots are there in the under the water, into the water. These plants have long stalk long stalks that helps to keep their leaves floating on water. Leaves of these plants also have oily surface which make them waterproof. The leaves of these plants also have the oily surface. Okay, oily surface, because of that which make them the waterproof. You might have seen the lotus. The lotus, when they bloom, they are above the water, isn't it? But their leaves are floating on the water. And giant water lily also, as you can see in the picture, giant water lily also, their leaves also float on the water, and their flowers are above the water, they bloom above the water. Okay, so these are the examples for rooted aquatic plants with floating leaves. Then in the next page, at page number 20, you will turn, one activity is shown there. One activity is shown there. What is that activity? That activity is keep your hand on or foot. Keep your hand or foot immersed in water for about an hour. Immersed in water for about an hour. Your skin wrinkles. You will see your skin wrinkles. The water lily plants or any aquatic plants does not wrinkle even though it remains in water throughout its life. Throughout its life, if it will remain, that their leaves will not wrinkle. This is because of its waterproof oily leaves. And if you want to try this activity, you can go for it. You just put your hand into water for an hour, and you will see your hand is wrinkled. Okay, then the third category we will discuss, that is our submerged aquatic plants. Submerged aquatic plants. So these plants, submerged aquatic, certain plants such as Hydrilla and Valseria remains submerged in water. Such plants have thin stem and ribbon-shaped leaves. These leaves allow water to pass throughout them easily. Through them easily. So these Hydrilla, submerged aquatic plants. Then Hydrilla, this when you will be discussing or you will be studying in the higher classes, we will have the practical of Hydrilla also. How the Hydrilla is, it sinks in the water. It is into the water, but it is alive. Okay, and you will see when the sunlight is there, it uses the sunlight to make the food. How it takes the oxygen from the water and it releases the carbon dioxide, that you will be discussing in the higher classes when you will be going to the higher classes like class 6, class 7. There you will have the chances to do the practical about this chapter or about this. Okay, and this is the submerged aquatic plants. These are the submerged aquatic plants. Then we will see about the weeds also. Weeds, weeds are the unwanted plants growing in an area are called weeds. When we grow vegetables in the garden, or when we grow the plants or the flowers into the garden, as we have seen in the school, there are many gardeners working, isn't it? In the school campus, in the school garden, many gardeners working. And whenever sometimes what they do, they remove the weeds. They remove the weeds from the around the, if it grows around the flowers. And uh, you will see, especially in the village areas where people do harvest, there the when they go to the land, their field, when the paddies are uh, half grown, or that means it is grown, and among with that the wheat plants also, grow they also grow. And what they do, the farmers, they remove the wheat plants. They grow and reproduce rapidly in great number. You will see where the wheat plants are grown, they grow rapidly and they produce number of plants. So water hyacinth is an aquatic weed. Water hyacinth is an aquatic weed. Its dense growth blocks waterways for navigation. Every year, a large amount of money is spent on weed control. For example, remove of weeds. The government uh, expends the lots of money to control the weed. Okay, so for today this much we discuss. In the next class maybe I will show you the video or the real the aquatic plants, so that you will understand that it is really not it is given in the book only, but it also it is really it exists. We can find it on uh, the river bank, or sometime we can find it on the lake, the free floating aquatic plants, and the rooted aquatic plants. All those things we can see there. Okay, so students, once again go through the chapter, once again read the chapter very careful. uh, Today, because of the lockdown, I couldn't conduct the class in the classroom, and I tried my level best to make you understand about the aquatic plants or aquatic life system about the plants. In next video we will discuss about the aquatic animals. What are the animals we can see. Okay, in the next video or in the next class I will explain you about the aquatic animals. And also I will show you some plants, aquatic plants. Okay, how they exist, how they grow, you will see in the lake. So for today this much is enough. Thank you. Have a nice day.